The topic for the next 15-20 minutes will be this application to global learning, to the Indian retail. What I thought was to go through the factors of change and then understand what are the new golden rules that have been applied abroad and that we are starting to apply also in India for the new retail environment. So first of all, as we have also discussed yesterday, there are a lot of new digital technologies. Of course, the expectations of the consumers are changing, and there is also a different scenario when it comes to the socio-economic scenario itself. So the combination of these three factors, it's what has transformed the shopping environment itself. Therefore, the retailers should in somehow sharpen up their strategies in order to reply back and proactively, in fact, react to these changes. So what the analysts and specialists are saying is that in the past we used to have a very linear and easy way to reach the purchase step. It was a kind of funnel. So the client was having awareness, going through the familiarity, and then stepping to the consideration, the purchase itself, and then jumping to a more sophisticated level of loyalty. But it was in somehow something not at all mixed up or messed up. What is happening nowadays is something that is called the purchase fish. So the client, the consumer, is browsing, scrolling, downloading, uploading, checking, comparing the different feedbacks about the products, and then maybe perhaps going to the location, so to the physical store, rechecking again, and then sometimes they buy, sometimes they go back home, and the purchase happen on a different device. Once the action is concluded, the purchase action per se is concluded, lot of other activities are starting. So again, the consumer himself will start to chat, again upload, record videos, and give feedbacks for new consumers to start with their own internal comparisons. So yeah, the logic behind this is absolutely different from the past, till the point that what we have been calling as e-commerce right now is perceived as everywhere commerce. So there's not just a single place, it's not just that bricks and mortar kind of location, and it's not just online, it's offline, online both. The sale doesn't happen now and here, it happens everywhere. It might happen on devices, it might happen in a store. So that's why we talk about everywhere commerce. Said so, consumers are having nowadays different expectations. I won't say that they have different needs. Needs are more or less the same, but the expectations on how the business will fulfill those needs, that is what has been changed. So first of all, the household structure. It is nowadays a nuclear family. I'm generally talking, I mean, I'm just thinking globally, okay? So if I can give you an example, in Italy, we started to have in grocery stores mono portions. For what? For small families. So you have small portions of ready-made food, small portions of salads, for households which are counting maybe a couple or a single parents with a kid. When it comes to kitchens, there is a very nice study that has been done by a product designer called Karim Rashid, who has of course also designed some kitchens models. Before even taking the pencil in his hands and making sketches, he decided to study what was the family, what family means nowadays in the US. And he found out that a nuclear family is having different activities in different areas of the house. So there was a communication gap among the members of the same small, tiny little family. The husband was watching the TV somewhere, the kids were doing homework somewhere else, the wife was cooking, then again the husband maybe was washing the utensils. So what he wanted to do was to recreate a compact kitchen with a simple island. There is a washing area, there is a lid to be put on the sink, so the same island can be used as a table to dine, to do homeworks, to play cards with friends, to work. The dado area, it's a mirror, and inside it has got a TV. So once the dinner is over, the whole family can actually get together there and watch the TV while someone is washing the utensils at the same time. The values. Someone yesterday, one of the speakers yesterday was saying that value doesn't mean necessary price. So a good value is not a cheap price or a low price. We were saying that people are buying, especially in India, you have MRPs. So you know what the price is, but people are looking for values, they're looking for discounts. And this is what is happening, for example, in Germany, where Aldi and Lidl, which are extremely big retail realities, are having 46 of the market shares of the grocery retail market in Germany, and these Aldi and Lidl are discounted stores. The mental space. So we do not have time nowadays. Life is frenetic. We don't want to waste time. We don't want to take tension. So what happens is that Walmart has created express corners for people who are just buying a few items and they can skip the queue. Or IKEA, let's just think about IKEA. You have galleries where you can get your own billing done. You have a barcode, you have a scan, you just scan the barcode and the bill is punched. So you don't have to wait for other clients to go through the queue and then reach the cashier and all that. You can, actually speaking, handle your own time the way you want and the speed you want. The assurance and the quality. So we are becoming nowadays more and more concerned about transparency. We want to know what are the ingredients of the food we are buying. We want to know what are the technicalities of the kitchen we are buying, the materials, the finishes. Just again, a quick example, in China, the organic food market just got a hike. So in a span of time which is not even 4 years, the sales of organic food jumped 4 times higher from 2007 to 2011, and it's China. So as a stereotype, we don't think that the Chinese market is appreciating quality, but that is happening there as well, of course. So due to these digital technologies and the change of the consumer's behavior and lifestyle and attitude and approach, of course we have certain rules which I just decided to summarize in a few points. First of all, we should adjust. We should adjust and adapt to the new shopper's attitude and the disaggregation of the shopping process. So, for example, in India, you guys are one step ahead than Italy in this sense. You have apps, you have grocers, you have big basket. We don't have all that. If we need a kg of tomatoes, we need to dress up, take the car, go to the supermarket, get the tomatoes, check the weight by our own, because it's a self-service kind of process nowadays. Then stand in the queue, buy the tomatoes and go back home. Here is just one click away. So in this sense, you're absolutely one step ahead. What Tesco did in Korea, for example, they have just put some kiosks at the metro station. People in the morning while going to work, everyone has a mobile nowadays. So what they need to do is just scan the QR code of what they want to buy, and the delivery will happen the same day. So again, it's just one scan that happens, one action. So this is a very, I think, hot topic that we have discussed in these 2 days, because bricks and mortar formula is there, but digital formula is there too. So these offline, online, both of them will be combined together. So what a company called Uniqlo in Japan, which is a fashion brand, did, they didn't want to jump immediately to the online, deleting the offline market. What they did, they digitalized their mirror in the trials rooms. So what happens is that instead of trying 3 or 4 t-shirts in different colors, the client just tries one, and the colors are automatically changing on the mirror. So that is brilliant, because it's saving the time of the client and it's saving manpower inside the store. They don't need helpers or people who can actually reshelf or restack the stock that has been tried and thrown away on the desk by the client. And then what is happening nowadays is that we should highlight, implement, and rehydrate what we call the experiential marketing. So products are everywhere, but not everyone knows how to create the experience. Now, let's think 1 second. I'm sure you guys went to Starbucks. Have you ever asked to yourself why you're going to Starbucks, and why for a tiny little shot of espresso, which is hardly 2 sips, you're ready to pay $135? It's not because of the coffee. It's not the best. It's not. But it's because of the ambience. It's because of the atmosphere. It's because of the experience that Starbucks is able to offer you. And at that point, you are convinced, and you shell out whichever amount Starbucks is asking you to shell out. Starbucks is considered a third place. It's not your office. You're not answerable there. You don't have anything to do. You can spend as much time as you want there. It's not your house. You don't have, again, responsibilities. It's your third place where you can actually take a break, think about whatever you want, enjoy the ambience, and that's it. And that is the experience you are paying for. It's not for the product itself. This is something also we are trying to recreate worldwide in the kitchen segment, and we are starting also in India. We were discussing yesterday and today with someone of you. So in our format, we always try to include one live kitchen, because we want to give to our clients the freedom of coming, carrying the ingredients, or we'll be offering them, and cook in the kitchen, bang the drawers, understand how the soft close it's working, understand if that is the right hob they want, or they need a bigger one or a smaller one, more burners, or whatever they require. And then it goes without saying, the experiential marketing is also related to emotional marketing. So we were saying just now, we are here to provide solutions, not just products, not just services. So what pays the most nowadays in our business, but I'm sure also in other segments, this is one of the golden rules, it's put a smile on your client's face. I was reading yesterday night some articles about the way of thinking of Americans. I was quite thrilled in understanding that people in the US as well, they actually rely on word to mouth. So more than half of the people that got interviewed for those studies replied that they would be able to buy a product without even checking the price or without even touching it, if referred by a friend. And this is in somehow what is summarized here in this slide. So some of these rules, let's call them however you want, I just call them rules, have been already applied here in India. Some are slowly, being applied. We are getting there. In some areas, we are one step ahead than other European countries. But this is more or less what is happening in the retail scenario, with a quick comparison also of some cases, Korea, Japan, and these other developing or already sophisticated countries when it comes to retail. So thank you so much for the attention and for giving me the chance of being here today. I'm done with the presentation, so I don't know if there are questions. I guess you guys are just thinking about the lunch because it's lunchtime, I guess. So what do we have to do? I'll stay here, I'll reply, there's no question. Yeah, of course, why not? I would be glad. Great, thanks a lot.